Hey, this is Elizabeth with Ebeth Art, and today I'm back with another video. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw a basic face in Ibispaint X. So stay tuned, I hope this is helpful. So I'm going to start by just kind of showing you a little bit the basics of what you're going to need to do this. So I'm going to click this little black box down here at the bottom of my screen, and you're going to see a color wheel here that I'm moving around, and you're also going to see a little basic palette of colors that you've been given after installing the app. So right now we're currently on the color black, and so that's probably what you're going to want to stay with for this. So come out of that, and then you're going to hit brush over here on your panel of tools, and you can see all the different pens you have. Like, you have a ton of pens, and while you can buy them to have them free 24/7, you can also watch an ad to have them free for about 17 hours, I believe. So watch an ad once a day and you get everything. But for this drawing, I'm just going to stick with the hard dip pen because it's one of the most basic but efficient tools. Like, it's literally the most popular free pen, and yet I still use it all the time. So we're just going to go with that. At the bottom of your screen again, you see you can change the pixel size of your pen, and you can also change the opacity. So when I'm drawing anything, I usually start with a sketch layer, and on the sketch layer I will usually lower the opacity of my pen to about 36%, in the 30s, and then I'll have my pen at around 25 to 30, or I'm sorry, 2.5 to 3 pixels. And that's usually about the right size for me, but you should play around with it yourself and see what you like the best. There's lots of features you can customize in this app, which is really great. So let's get started here. Before we start drawing, if you click on this white box down at the bottom, you see your layers. And so the highlighted one in blue is the layer you're going to be drawing on currently. You can hit the plus to get another layer, and you can move them around if you need them. For the time being, we only need one layer, but I will show you how to mess with those a little bit later. So let's get started learning how to draw a face. So I'm going to start by just drawing a circle, which this isn't a great circle, but it's just a basic one. If you haven't done this already with your app, I suggest going up into your upper right hand corner and touching this little hand, and you see I have my stabilizer on all the way to 10, and this is going to help you draw straight lines and better shapes. You also have drawing tools at the bottom of this corner where you can have the ability to make straight lines and circles and stuff, but I'm doing this without the drawing tools just so you have a better idea of how to do this as a beginner. So now that I have my very wonky looking circle, I'm going to put a line down the center and have it extend off of the circle about half a circle width. Then I'm going to come to the sides of my circle, and I'm going to make a slightly slanted line coming inwards, as you can see right here. So you don't want a straight line, but you want a slightly slanted one coming in. Then I'm going to make two more slanted lines coming this way, coming in towards the bottom to make a chin. And here we have a very basic base for most any face. So this would probably be best for a girl or a young boy because of how long the face is. If you were to make the face a little bit more elongated, make the chin a little bit more pointy, coming up, and maybe even a little slimmer, it would be more ideal for a guy or maybe a villain character. However, this is probably the most basic standard face for a girl or a kid. So after you've drawn this, you might want to start drawing a neck or some shoulders. So right underneath where the cheekbone is, you usually bring out into the neck. And if you're trying to go for something a little bit more stylized, some people make the neck smaller. Because usually the way it works in drawings is guys are given the more wider necks and the girls are given skinnier ones, like so. But just do whatever you're most comfortable with. However, to be anatomically correct, it comes right underneath the cheekbone. And then right about here, so it's really kind of, you just kind of gotta wing it sometimes. If you bring a line in through right here, that's a good way, but right out here is where you put ears. Like that. And you can make them whatever size you want, you know, more curved, but that's just my style, it's just how I'm drawing it. So we put this line right here, and this is a good judge of where to put the nose on the face. And so by putting lines on the face, you can really help teach your brain where to put the eyes and the nose and the mouth and all those features. So that's a good way to start, by doing this line, so you can tell where to put the earlobes in the nose, and that's a good basic deal. And right and underneath the mouth, underneath the nose, you should place the mouth, and there should always be a distance between the two. Like, don't put them super close together. And then above the nose, you can draw another line, and then have the bridge, the nose, which is a great separator, because another thing I see a lot of people do is put the eyes way too close together. So in order to prevent that, you should have a nose bridge. Also, draw an eye, or an eye shape, I suppose you could say, in the middle of the face. And then you can add your eyes on either side to make this look a little bit more anatomy correct, in which I'm going to adjust this a little bit, but I just did it this way for showing reasons. But in theory, when drawing a face, the eyes should be one eye length apart. And that's a good way to prevent yourself from making the eyes too close together. You should also take precautions to make sure you don't draw them too far apart, but that's something that can be changed and messed around with and fixed even along the line in your drawing. So you may also choose to put like eyebrows in at this point. Again, this is the sketch layer, so you're going to draw anything you want. You can, depending how you decide to draw, and you might also put an eye in. Yeah, so I'm going to leave them out for now because I want to do a little bit more detail later. But this is just like the basic sketch layer. So let's do a little bit more fine detailing now. So we're going to go to our layer tab, and we're going to hit the little plus over here, push on it, and pull it down underneath what is now layer 2. So you should have a blank layer and then layer 2. Click on layer 2, and we're going to go down to this opacity lever down here and pull it way back, so it's a lot lighter now. Then we're going to come back to our blank layer, change the opacity of our brush, and you can also choose to change your color at this point if you want a different color line art. I'm just going to go for black right now so it's simple and easy for you to see. And now we're going to start outlining everything we want to keep in this drawing. So the face should come right here, come down. And it might take you a couple tries. Line art still isn't super easy for me to do, but I had to practice and do a lot of erasing to get it close to what I like. So don't be afraid to practice line art quite a bit, because it's one of the trickier parts of drawing. Bring in the ears. Okay. I'm also going to put in the nose. Some people put more details into their nose. I think I put less because it's kind of my style, just to have just like a little bit of a nose. Do the nose bridge here. Some people like put a little bit right there, which I might actually keep for this drawing. Usually the eyes are in a shape like this, an oval. And then you're going to have a partial circle in there for the eyes. Now, I'm saying partial circle because some people put full circles, and that results in more of a shocked look. So here, let me show you. When you put a full circle, like you're going to have more of a shocked look than what you might be going for. However, if you put like a partial circle, you have more of a calm, neutral look, and that is probably usually what you're going for. But like, if you're trying to draw an actually shocked look, make the pupil smaller so there's a space in between the eyelid and the pupil, and that will give out a genuinely shocked expression, as you can see. But just for a neutral look, partial circle in the eye. If you're drawing a male, you should give the eye a little bit, just like a little bit right there, and sometimes even like this little part of the eye right there, which is optional depending on your style, just like that. If you're drawing a female, a lot of times you'll give eyeliner like that. It's a lot more emphasis. Usually we'll add little lines above the eyes for eye to indicate eyelids, but usually this is just like the basic eye. In some styles, you will draw the black in the center of an eye, and this is something that entirely depends on how you want to make your drawing. Some of my drawings have this, some of them don't. It just kind of depends what I'm going for. So I want to show you, so looking at this drawing, I'm not satisfied because I have noticed that I have made the space in between my eyes way too big. So I want you to come to your left hand side, and you have a panel of tools where we have the brush at the moment, but I want you to click on the lasso right here. But you can take this tool and trace around your drawing. So here we have a portion. So you're going to come to your right hand where you have these little tools, and if you click the ones that look like arrows, you're going to see this. Next, I want you to click the perspective form, and now you can move around this part on your drawing, and you can make it bigger, smaller, but I'm just going to try and pull mine in a little bit more. I think I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Do this one, pull it in a little bit so it looks a little better. Come back to my brush and see that looks a little bit better. So that's a very handy tool that I suggest that you use if you're ever in a pinch like that. That is very nice, and it helps you from having to redraw things. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the eye. You can go ahead and give eyelashes if you want. It really just depends on what you're drawing and how would you like it to look. For me, I've watched a ton of tutorials, I've watched so many art videos, and I continue to, and sometimes there's these little things that stick with me and I apply it to my art and it works. But I'd say the biggest thing is practice. As much as it's annoying to be told practice makes perfect, keep practicing. But if you just draw and draw whenever you want to draw and just continue and really just apply the time, you will figure out how to do it and what works best for you. And that's, it isn't the only thing there is to it, but it's a big factor. So just don't be afraid to practice and just keep going. Okay, yeah, so right now you saw me, I put little details in the ears. Just looks a little bit better than flat. Mouths are a little bit difficult for me. A lot of times I'll just put something like this, maybe a little bit of detail for a lip, dimple, something like that. Other times I'll actually do something like this, and it doesn't always look good. That's something I'm improving on. I'm not afraid to admit that I have to improve in many areas still. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of drawing a face. And when it comes to expressions and stuff, I mean, it's a lot of time and studying, because there's so many things like the eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth, your head, how you tilt the head, even the ear location on the face just can really determine, your character's attitude and how they look. But if you're just looking for how to basic draw a face. I hope this helped you. I will be doing other videos in the future about how to draw a body and hair and clothing and how to color, and so you can find out all that information. But I hope this was helpful to you, and happy drawing! Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and have a great day. Bye!